If you're shopping around for reusable toiletry containers to bring all of your everyday products with you on your travels, this video might be helpful for you. Cadence Capsules has come out with some new sizes and a brand new flex system. If you have no idea what Cadence Capsules are or you've never heard of them before, check out this video, because in this video I do a full review of their original capsules and you can learn what they're all about in that video. So this video right here is sort of like a part 2 to that first video. I'm going to be breaking down the ins and outs of their new flex system, comparing the different sizes, and showing you my Cadence collection and how I travel and use my Cadence capsules. When Cadence capsules were first introduced in 2020, there was only one size, the original capsule. They've since added 3.5 additional sizes to the mix. They've also added an additional core color called 7 PM, which is a beautiful, fun, bright yellow, all with the same magnetic features, interchangeable labels, all made from recycled plastic, and all TSA approved and BPA free. Just different sizes. So let's break down each size from smallest to largest. First up is the original. This is what they started with, first generation capsule, and this is the smallest size they offer. Again, if you want more details about the original capsule, check out this video because I go into way more detail in that video. The original capsule is 0.56 ounces and with a tall hexagon shape. On the website, this one says it weighs 1.5 ounces on its own without anything inside. Now let's get into their flex system and the new sizes that they've added. All of the new sizes are a part of their flex system. The difference between the original and the flex system is that all of the capsules within the flex system are interchangeable with each other, just not with the original. And the materials are also slightly different. The difference in material is actually the first thing I noticed when I got new capsules from the flex system. First, I was not a big fan of the material of the new flex capsules, but I think now after using them for quite some time, I've gotten used to them. The flex capsules have a little bit more of a matte material, which is usually something I'm into, but I don't know, it just took me a little minute to get into them. The look of the flex Cadence capsules are very similar to the original capsules. It still has that hexagon shape that Cadence is known for, except the edges are more rounded instead of being sharp as in the original capsules. The tops still twist off like the original capsules, except the difference is there is a rubber seal inside the tops of the original capsules and there is not a rubber seal inside the tops of the flex capsules. The branding is still minimal, which I love, but it's changed just a little bit. On the original capsules, there was, at least the first generation, you can see 0.56 fluid ounces, so it tells you how much is inside, and then on the other side there was a small C. Now, instead, there is, the size is still on the side of it. So instead of the C, it now has the word Cadence. But the inside is still smooth and concave, getting all of that product out to the very end. This is a small detail that I love about this product. So besides the fact that all of the labels are interchangeable, you'll see a little bit more as we go on in this video why it's called a flex system. So now let's look at the sizes within the flex system. Flex small. This is the smallest size within the flex system, and it holds the same amount as the original, which is 0.56 ounces. So it's very similar to the original capsule, except the shape is different. So instead of being tall and narrow, it is wide and flat. So because of its flat shape, these capsules really work well for hand creams, balms, and eye cream, things like that. The small flex capsules are not magnetic side to side the way the originals are, but they are magnetic from top to bottom. On the website, it says that the flex small weighs around 1.3 ounces with nothing inside of it. Now the flex medium, I think this is the size that everybody was waiting for. The flex medium holds 1.32 ounces and has a tall shape. So it's sort of like the original, except bigger. So the additional ounces, although it's not a lot, to me, make a difference between a weekend trip and say a week and a half, 2-week trip. And the flex medium weighs 2.5 ounces without anything inside. The flex large. The flex large holds 2.75 fluid ounces, which is just under TSA's 311 liquid rule of 3.4 fluid ounces. So it's small enough to bring on a carry-on only trip. This is my favorite part. The coolest thing about the flex large is that it can be broken down into a flex medium. So if you just take the top off, it's comprised of 2 sections. If you take this middle section off, you can take the top and twist it right back on, and there you go. You have a flex medium. So cool. So essentially it's like having 2 capsules in one. It's brilliant. Flex Large weighs 4 ounces on its own without anything inside. So now we get to that half capsule that I was talking about earlier, and that is the Flex Extender. So the Flex Extender is a medium-sized tube that can be added to any capsule within the Flex system. So the small, the medium, and the large. Only one that it cannot be used with is the original capsule, because the original capsules are not within the Flex system. With this extender, you can make any capsule within the Flex system bigger. So you can add it to a small one to make it a little bit bigger. You can add it to a medium to make it large, and then you can add it to a large to make it extra large. It is so genius. However, if you add this to an already existing large capsule, if you do have a liquid inside, it will be over TSA's 311 rule. It'll be over 3.4 ounces. So it's probably something that you can add to your checked bag, but you cannot bring it if you're carrying carry-on only. So now let's briefly talk about the price and the prices of these new capsules. So as with the original capsules, you can buy the new Flex capsules and the original capsules individually, or you can buy them in bundles. You can customize and create your own bundle, but there are several options on the website for pre-made bundles, and some of them are also pre-labeled as well. For example, there is the skincare bundle with the small Flex capsules. There's the bestseller set with a mix of all 3 Flex capsules, and then of course there are the original capsule bundles as well. The original capsules individually are $14, and the small Flex capsule is also $14. The Flex medium is $22, and the large Flex is $36. Flex Extender is $14. The tiles, the label tiles, you can also buy individually or in bundles. The original tile on its own without any customization is $4, and the Flex tile on its own is $6. They also have limited edition colors and designs, and this is where they get me. This is where they get my money, from the limited edition colors. If you're enjoying this video and you're finding it helpful, definitely give it a like. So where to buy Cadence and how to care for them. You can buy Cadence capsules directly from the website, which is the best way to buy them, I think, because that has the most variety. But you can also buy them at the Container Store and at Amazon. There's actually a couple of websites that sell Cadence capsules now. Just a heads up here, they do not have expedited shipping, so you may be waiting a little while for your capsules. How to care for your Cadence capsules. So on the website, Cadence recommends removing the tiles and using a drop of mild soap in warm water to clean them out and then let them air dry. I do believe that they can also be washed in the dishwasher on the top rack in maybe like a laundry bag or a garment bag. I have done that once before, but now I wash mine by just filling a bucket with some warm water and soap, and I dump all my Cadence capsules inside, let them soak a little bit, brush them with a small toothbrush or a small cloth, and then I let them air dry. How to pack with Cadence capsules. Because of their shape and the fact that they're magnetic, they make packing a breeze. You can stick them together and put them in virtually any pouch. Lately, I've been using the Calpac small clear cosmetic case as my toiletry bag. What I do is I usually cluster them together and stick them in the corner of that toiletry bag. And for the ones I use on my hair, I stick them in a small mesh pouch that I got from Baze. Let's talk about some pros and cons of the Cadence capsules with the new Flex system. So these are just some cons that I found floating around on the internet. First con that I hear often is that they're heavy, and I would have to say that I agree with that. They are heavy. Well, they're heavier than the traditional plastic containers that you might find at Target or the dollar store or the Container Store even, and they're certainly heavier than the silicone toiletry tubes. This cannot be denied. I mean, even when we're talking about the weight of each capsule without anything in it, it's a bit heavy when you compare it to some of the traditional toiletry cases that are out there. I don't personally mind the weight, just because for me, the functionality of the capsules outweigh the weight. But I think that if you are traveling for an extended period of time, or you are going on a trip where you really need to be conscious of the weight of your luggage and every ounce counts, then I could see why it would be of concern. Next con I've heard is that they're breakable and they're not really leak proof. Can they break and crack? Yes. Easily? No. Now this is just my own opinion and my experience. I have only had 2 capsules where the tile has gotten cracked, and then I have 1 capsule that is really cracked and broken. But I have heard, and I haven't tried this out for myself, but I have heard that Cadence will replace cracked capsules for you free of charge if you email them and just send them all the details and information. This capsule that I can no longer use, I am going to email them and see if it works, see if they'll give me a free capsule to replace this one. And I will keep you updated. In the pinned comment under this video, I will leave an update with what they say and if they'll replace it or whatnot. I still haven't had a ton of issues with leakage. The only issue I've had with leakage, this for whatever reason, and I think it's this and I don't think it's Cadence, because every time I started using this and I put it in a Cadence capsule and it leaked. But then I put it in another container and it leaked from there as well. So I have a feeling that whatever is in this just does not hold well. Also, I've noticed that when I put almond oil into one of my big capsule, sometimes a little tiny minuscule amount spills out and then sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know if it's the way that I'm twisting it off and maybe I'm not twisting it closed all the way. Other than that, I haven't had any major issues with leakage. Another con, of course, is the price. They are still pricey and they are still an investment, but I do think that adding this flex system has just made it so much more versatile and more cost effective because you don't have to buy as many capsules. Those are just my thoughts, so definitely feel free to leave your thoughts and your opinions in the comments. I want to know what you're thinking. So let's talk about some pros with Cadence capsules. So the first pro for me is the size variation. It's just so helpful to have all of these different sizes. And for me, it feels like an ecosystem. It all goes with each other. I love the new flex system. I absolutely love that you can match all of them together. You can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. So you can mix and match and combine depending on the needs of your trip. Another pro for me with Cadence capsules is design and functionality. I think this was also a pro in my last video, but I love to travel in style. I've said that many times. I love when things are cute. Call me basic, I don't care. I love the design of Cadence. I love the twist off top. I love that it's concave and you can get all of the product out. I love that they're magnetic and you can clump them all together. I am just such a fan of the fun and functional design of Cadence. I'm also a huge fan of the color selection. Another pro from my last video that remains the same for me is the fact that they are TSA compliant. So now let's get into my personal Cadence collection. I'll start with the original capsules because that's what I have the most of. And I have 12 original capsules. I'll break them down for you. I have 3 in eucalyptus, one with a tile that says eye cream, one with a tile that says face toner, and one with a tile for face serum. I also have 3 original capsules in petal, which is the pink, pastel pink color, and I have a daily face oil, and then I have a rainbow icon and a heart icon on the tiles. 3 of the lavender, the purple. I have 1 sun icon, 1 ring icon, and 1 face exfoliator icon. So the face exfoliator tile is the one of the tiles I was telling you about that is a little bit cracked. 3 sand original capsules, 1 for body scrub, 1 for cleanser, and 1 for night cleanser. The small flexes that I have 2. I have a small flex for jewelry, and I have a small flex for hand cream. I have 1 in lavender and the other in 7 p.m., which is the new core color. Moving on to the medium flex capsules, I have 2 of those as well. I have 1 in eucalyptus with is just a plain blank tile. And then I have 1 in sand, which has toothpaste. I had the grand idea that I was gonna start putting toothpaste in my capsules, but I decided against it as they were shipping here. So I still use it, I just don't put toothpaste in it. And then lastly, my Flex large containers. I have 2 in eucalyptus for conditioner and shampoo, and then I have 1 in charcoal, which is where I put my body oil. I do have 1 Flex extender here in eucalyptus in the green. So as of right now, I have 20 Cadence capsules. However, I did buy some capsules on Black Friday when they were having their sale, and I got 1 new Flex medium capsule in the limited edition color of mocha, 1 new Flex large, and 2 Flex tiles. Let me know your thoughts on Cadence capsules in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I'm the one. When they market this stuff, I'm the one. They're marketing to me. I'm actually very happy, but also I don't need to be spending money, so I'm happy but not too happy. Okay.